The wind carried ash across the open fields as dawn settled over the ridge. The old farmhouse stood silent. Smoke curled from blackened beams that had once held up generations of labor. A single figure walked through the charred rubble. His name was Calvin, a one-armed farmer who had worked this land since childhood. He stepped carefully through the ruins, lifting wreckage with his remaining arm. The smell of burnt wood clung to his clothes. Everything he owned was now gone. Calvin had lost his right arm years ago during a machinery accident. The nearest town offered little help. His farm required 2 hands to survive. After the fire, even 1 hand would not be enough to rebuild. But Calvin was stubborn. He would not abandon the soil that held his memories. He had few choices left. The only option that seemed possible came from an off-world agency known for pairing humans with partners from distant colonies. It was something he never imagined doing. Yet desperation led him to fill out the form. He requested a bride from a species known for strength and resilience. He believed such help might save the land. He had asked not for beauty, but for labor. Someone who could help him rebuild. Someone who would not be shaken by hardship. The agency responded quickly. A ship would bring her in 3 days. Calvin waited with a mix of nerves and hope. On the morning of her arrival, the sky flashed silver as a shuttle descended near the edge of his field. The ground vibrated gently. A ramp unfolded. A tall alien woman stepped out. Her skin shimmered with a soft blue tone. She wore simple travel clothing and carried no luggage. Her eyes were bright green, wide with curiosity. She introduced herself with a single gentle nod. Her name was Lyra. Calvin straightened his posture. He felt awkward, yet he tried to be polite. He welcomed her with a calm voice. He explained the damage the fire caused. She listened without interrupting. When he finished, she surveyed the farm. Her eyes lingered on the half-collapsed barn. She turned back to him with a faint smile. She seemed neither shocked nor disheartened. Lyra asked to walk the property. Calvin followed at her side. She touched the burned soil, studying it with interest. She examined the broken machinery scattered near the shed. She asked questions in a thoughtful tone. Calvin answered every question honestly. He admitted he was not sure how they would rebuild. He admitted he had little money left. Lyra listened to every word. She carried herself with a calm confidence that eased his worries. When the sun climbed higher, they returned to the farmhouse steps. She declared that she accepted the partnership fully. Calvin felt a quiet relief. He offered her a seat. They talked about duties, plans, and daily routines. She accepted all tasks with no hesitation. She seemed almost eager to work. That evening, Calvin prepared a simple meal. They sat at a small table inside the least damaged room. Lyra ate with delicate motions. She thanked him for the hospitality. Her voice was soft. Calvin noticed she observed everything with keen attention. She asked about human traditions. He explained them as best he could. In the following days, Lyra astonished him with her strength. She lifted fallen beams with ease. She cleared debris that would have taken him days. She rebuilt the fence that bordered the property. When he tried to help, she insisted he rest his arm. She said he needed to conserve his strength for tasks only he could perform. Calvin appreciated her sense of partnership. Despite her hard work, he worried. Strength alone would not rebuild the farmhouse. Supplies cost more than he had. The bank refused additional loans. Neighbors could only offer small assistance. Calvin kept his worries silent. Yet Lyra sensed his concern. One night, after finishing repairs on the water pump, she asked him directly. She said his silence carried a heaviness. He hesitated. Then he told her the truth. The farm needed resources beyond their reach. They could rebuild only part of it. The rest would remain ruined. He apologized for bringing her to a life so difficult. Lyra studied him for a long moment. She placed her hand gently on his shoulder. She told him that her people valued commitment to the land. She respected his determination. She told him not to lose hope. Callan nodded, though he still worried. The next morning, Lyra left early. She said she needed to walk beyond the ridge. Callan watched her disappear into the distance. Hours passed. When she returned, she carried a small crystalline box. She said it contained something her mother gave her for emergencies. She admitted she hoped never to use it. Yet this life she now lived with him counted as its rightful purpose. Callan opened the box carefully. Inside were several shimmering stones, each glowing faintly. He recognized them from trade broadcasts. They were rare minerals used in interstellar engines. Each stone had immense value, more than enough to rebuild the entire farm. Callan stared in disbelief. He told her he could not accept something so precious. Lyra stood firm. She said they were partners now. She said his hardship was hers as well. She promised she wanted to build a future on this land. Her voice was sincere. Callan felt a warmth spread through him, one he had not felt in years. They took the stones to the nearest trader. The merchant's eyes widened. The stones earned enough credit, not only for repairs, but for upgrades. Callan purchased new equipment. He hired several workers to assist. The farmhouse rose again, stronger than before. New walls, new beams, new foundation. Lyra supervised the construction with calm authority. Workers listened to her without question. She coordinated tasks with remarkable efficiency. Callan felt humbled by her leadership. He tried to contribute as much as possible. She encouraged him at every step. She told him the land needed both of their hands. One hand or two, she said. A person's worth came from spirit, not limb count. Callan appreciated her words deeply. As weeks passed, the relationship between them grew gently. Lyra learned human customs with surprising speed. She helped cook meals. She repaired machinery with careful precision. She laughed at Callan's dry humor. He found her laughter uplifting. She enjoyed the quiet evenings on the porch. She admired the stars that stretched across the sky. Callan often joined her. They watched the sky without speaking. A peaceful bond formed between them. One afternoon, a group of officials from a distant colony visited the farm. They came seeking Lyra. They recognized the minerals she used. They demanded an explanation. Lyra remained calm. She told them she used her inheritance for a rightful purpose. Callan stood beside her. He refused to allow anyone to question her loyalty. The officials examined the rebuilt property. When they saw how she invested her inheritance, their suspicions softened. They respected her decision. They departed without further conflict. After the officials left, Callan thanked her for her courage. She thanked him in return. She said she felt safe by his side. He realized how much her presence meant to him. He realized he no longer saw her as someone he simply requested for help. She was his partner in every sense. She had joined her life with his willingly. He felt grateful every day. The harvest season approached. The new crops grew strong. Lyra's improvements to the irrigation system increased yield. Callan worked beside her, guiding tools with steady skill. She lifted heavy sacks with ease. They shared tasks without complaint. Their teamwork was seamless. One evening, after finishing work, Lyra asked him a question. She wondered why he had chosen her species when requesting a partner. Callan paused. He admitted he admired the stories he heard about her people. Strength, endurance, wisdom. He hoped someone like that could help him save his farm. But deep down, he also believed he needed someone who would not pity him for his missing arm. He wanted a partner, not a caretaker. Lyra listened with a soft expression. She told him he never needed to fear pity from her. She said she admired his courage. She said he treated her as an equal from the moment she arrived. Her voice carried quiet warmth. Callan felt a gentle stir of emotion. As months passed, the farm became a thriving landmark. The town spoke about the one-armed farmer and his remarkable partner. Visitors admired the new structures. They praised the innovative irrigation system. They marveled at the healthy crops. Callan always credited Lyra. She always credited him. The seasons turned. The land regained its former beauty. Wild flowers bloomed near the creek. Fresh timber stood where charred ruins once lay. Animals returned to the fields. The farm lived again, stronger than before. Callan and Lyra continued working side by side. Their trust deepened. They talked about the future. They planned expansions. They wanted more orchards, more fields, more storage barns. The possibilities seemed endless now that they shared the burden. One winter night, snow fell gently over the farm. Callan sat by the fire, polishing a tool. Lyra sat nearby, weaving a small cloth. The flames cast warm light across the room. Callan watched her quietly. She noticed and smiled. They talked about their first day together. They laughed at his nervous greeting. She admitted she had been nervous too. She feared he might regret receiving her. Callan assured her he felt no regret. He thanked her again for saving everything he loved. Lyra placed her hand on his. She told him she did not save his farm alone. She said he saved her as well. She explained that her people valued duty over personal desire. She had lived a life of expectation. She had inherited wealth, but not freedom. By joining him, she found a purpose she truly wanted. She found a home. Callan felt a deep warmth. He realized she meant every word. He squeezed her hand gently. Their bond was no longer one of neck.